What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. Before we start really quickly, guys, I may be going live later on today to discuss all the New York Giants' recent signings and what they potentially could be doing in free agency and the rest of free agency and the draft. And I'm going to be, simultaneously testing out my new phone, S21 Ultra, and it'll be my new recording device, so I won't have to use this webcam. And I'm going to try going live with it tonight to see how good it looks. So that being said, guys, let's get on to the signing. Okay, let's get on to the New York Giants signing Tyrod Taylor, quarterback from multiple teams. Okay, I love the signing. Now it is 2 years, $11 million. I know a lot of people, were going off. This is by Bleacher Report. A lot of people were going off thinking that this was a 2-year, $17 million deal. It could be a 2-year, $17 million if Tyrod Taylor starts a certain amount of games. I'm assuming that's what the incentives are. Starts a certain amount of games, throws for X many touchdowns, X many yards. You know how it goes with these incentive-based contracts. So it's 2 years, $11 million. I assume it's like evened out, $5.5 million each. You don't really want to front load or backload these contracts, something like 2 years. So it's probably right, dead split, or if not a little less, a little more in 1 year. But $17 million total incentives, that's not too bad if he winds up being our starter, right? If he winds up being our starter, of course, they might have to restructure the contract if Daniel Jones is not under contract next season, because he's technically not under contract next season unless they take this fifth-year option. If he's not part of the plans of the Giants, obviously you may see this restructured to be a bigger amount, and Tyrod Taylor may be our quarterback going into next season. Who knows what the case may be, but the New York Giants now have a high-level backup quarterback to Daniel Jones. And now not only is he a backup quarterback to Daniel Jones, he's one of the better mentors in the NFL, better guys one of the best bridge quarterbacks in the NFL, okay? You guys know that I believe he bridged Lamar Jackson, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. No, he didn't bridge Lamar Jackson. I'm misspoken there. He was a long time ago. He was in Baltimore a long time ago. That's where I first heard about him. Then he went to Buffalo. I think he may have bridged... I don't think he bridged Josh Allen. I don't know if he did bridge. I don't know. But every time Tyrod Taylor is with a team, they wind up getting another quarterback, okay? The Buffalo Bills, eventually Tyrod Taylor left to the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills eventually replaced him with Josh Allen, and then he went to Cleveland. They replaced him with Baker Mayfield. He went to the Texans. They replaced him with Davis Mills. Okay, so he's been a part of a lot of teams. Los Angeles Chargers, they replaced him with Justin Herbert. Okay, so everywhere he goes, they wind up replacing him with another quarterback. So I could imagine the same thing happening with the New York Giants, and they may draft themselves a quarterback, or maybe Daniel Jones. I don't know. I don't think Daniel Jones is the guy, but we'll see what happens with Daniel Jones. But this is actually, like I said, this is actually a really good deal for a New York Giants team that needs to evaluate. They have not evaluated Daniel Jones personally. Obviously, this is a whole new regime, whole new GM, whole new coach. They have to figure out how to evaluate him in the best way possible. So they have to get a high quality backup to not only give a little fire under Daniel Jones, but to really have a backup plan, have an emergency exit. And that if Daniel Jones just flat out sucks this season, or even gets hurt, because obviously in every single season that Daniel Jones has been a Giant, he's been getting hurt. And Tyrod Taylor could come in and fill the role very nicely. He's proved that time and time again that he can do that type of job, and he can handle that very, very well. Being a backup, being a guy that constantly, starts one week, doesn't start the other week. Tyrod Taylor is one of those guys, very high character, and a good locker room dude as well. So it could be a good mentor for whoever the quarterback may be in the future, whether that be Daniel Jones this year or a quarterback next year. Tyrod Taylor is a good option there. And obviously, it's no surprise that there might be a connection there. Joe Shane has been part of the Buffalo Bills for a number of years now. I'm sure he's met Tyrod Taylor. I'm sure he's very familiar with Tyrod Taylor. I'm not too sure if Brian Daboll was in Buffalo in the times that Tyrod Taylor was there. Could be wrong. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But either way, there is some ties to Joe Shane. So that being said, guys, I love the signing. I'm not a big guy of backup quarterback signings or even like a Tyrod Taylor signing, but I think it's a trend in the right direction. I think it's a trend. We're kind of being cautious, being vigilant just in case something were to happen. It's not like a Mike Glennon signing, right? I mean, did anybody really think Mike Glennon was going to play? I don't even think front office thought that, Mike Glennon was going to play, and he played terribly. I think I would be very, very confident in Tyrod Taylor if Daniel Jones were to go down or if Daniel Jones were to get benched. So that being said, guys, that is the video. Tyrod Taylor to the New York Giants, 2 years, $11 million, 17 total with added incentives. And I will be back live soon to talk more with you guys. See you guys later.